Welcome back, guys. I'm Matt.
And I'm Micah, and today we'll be discussing the movie, The Suicide Squad.
This movie was directed by James Gunn and stars Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and John Cena.
The plot summary for the movie is a group of cons are tasked with joining Task Force X. So the cons are dropped off at the island of Corto Maltese. What ensues is the best Marvel movie since... Oh, wait. This is James Gunn? What did you think of The Suicide Squad?
This version is so much better than the 2016 version of the movie. This is I'd say a good reboot. It's not a remake, but a full reboot because they definitely did the whole thing from scratch. I think the only recurring character is Harley Quinn, is with the same actor, Margot Robbie. Who was the FBI or CIA actress? Was she the same from the first one? The one who was like calling the shots?
I don't remember. I literally don't remember anything from that 2016 Suicide Squad movie because it was so bad.
It was that bad. So maybe that intelligence director, maybe she was in it again, but other than that, just Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. But this movie was, in my opinion, I thought it was really good. Especially my expectations going into this were probably on the floor, like as low as it could go. Because after seeing the 2016 version with Jared Leto as the Joker, it's just like... There's no further down you can go at this point. And they pulled this off well. Like, the characters were likable, the characters were funny, characters got killed, tons of gore. You never knew like anyone could really die. You get attached to some characters, you think they're funny, next thing you know they get gunned down like 2 minutes later. What do you think of the movie?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I thought it was really good. Kind of like we mentioned, the first Suicide Squad movie in 2016. I'm not sure who directed that one, but it was just a piece of crap in my opinion. It was just, there's no redeeming qualities of that movie. Will Smith couldn't save it. Margot Robbie couldn't save it. Like, when you have that bad of a script, it's gonna be a really crap movie. But when I actually saw that James Gunn was gonna direct it and write it, I was like, that's weird because, you know, he's done Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel stuff. It's kind of weird to see like a director from Marvel go to DC, and it was really good. It was well made, and I was like really surprised by it because I was like, okay, James Gunn is going to direct it, he's going to write it. It's probably going to be pretty decent, but I thought it was like probably one of the best movies I've seen this year. It was kind of weird. Like, I'm not sure how I thought about John Cena, but like, once I watched this movie, I was like, okay, John Cena was really great as Peacemaker. Idris Elba was great as Bloodsport. Margot Robbie is always good as Harley Quinn, regardless of your thoughts of the characters and stuff like that too. It was just a well-done movie. I don't really have too many complaints about it.
I think without the Joker being in this, because usually in every DC movie that has the Joker is this really, or supposed to be this really phenomenal, really driving force of each and central piece of each DC movie where he's in it. And the 2016 version that they pushed was just like so much focus on this edgy Joker who just was this weird like gangster edgy guy, edgelord. They should have put him in like a trench coat and a fedora, and he just should have been like probably expose himself on a playground.
I became edgelord, trench coat, fedora, katana man.
Like, that's the kind of Joker it was at that point.
But the Christopher Nolan Joker was a gangster too, but he was cool.
Yeah, like,
you know?
Yeah, that was actually like probably the best Joker of all time, in my opinion. I know Jack Nicholson pulled a good Joker way back when, but in my opinion, I like Heath Ledger better.
What about the 1960s Joker?
Like the craze? I mean, I think that was a different time. That was like very, very different acting time where stuff wasn't serious.
Oh yeah. Well, the current time, Heath Ledger's Joker is still hands down the best one. Jack Nicholson is probably second, I think.
I'd say maybe actually Joaquin Phoenix is my second.
Oh yeah, he was really good too. But I don't know, I'm thinking more like this, like the separate Batman movies. Because like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was just like its own movie, right? It had something to do with Batman, like his dad, like his father, Bruce Wayne.
I guess not Batman specifically, but the Wayne family.
Yeah, the Wayne family. There were so many parts where I actually just straight up laughed. Like, there was a part where basically they have to go to this island of Corto Maltese, and I guess they're all ex-cons, and basically I guess these people come up, tell them that they can get reduced sentences, or I guess specifically for Bloodsport, he gets kind of conned into it because the head lady tells him that she'll pretty much do something to his daughter. And obviously, like, as a dad, you know, he wasn't there for his daughter, but he doesn't want anything to happen to her, so he ends up being forced into this. And it's really, I thought it was a funny movie because, you know, you kind of get introduced to Bloodsport. He's like cleaning like the floors, he's cleaning the toilets and stuff like that. He's cleaning like gum off the floor. And then you get introduced to John Cena's character, Peacemaker. He's just like standing right in the front there. And then like they kind of have like a funny interaction starting off. And then you get introduced to this like weird character named King Shark, which is actually like probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. And I didn't even know that was Sylvester Stallone too.
Oh, Nanawe, the shark,
Yeah.
was Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I didn't even know. I saw the name Sylvester Stallone. I didn't know he was the shark.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny, man. Like, usually I'm not a fan of like those characters that can't really talk very well. Like, Groot was okay, but it kind of got annoying. Like, I'm Groot, you know? Like, okay, I guess that's the joke, but I was kind of thinking that James Gunn might do the same thing. Like, I guess it's kind of similar. Like, maybe he was basing Groot or King Shark off of Groot, but at least like, you know, Groot or King Shark does a little more in the movie, and he's, you know, he seems like he's almost like he's like indestructible. He can get shot a bunch of times. He never dies. I don't know. I don't know too much about the character King Shark, if anyone knows more about him, but I don't know. What'd you think of King Shark too?
I thought it was a likable character. It was done really well. I think a lot of these movies these days, they have this formula where there has to be a fully CGI character that's kind of this cute character, I would say, or a character that, you know, the audience can laugh at or relate to. And Nanawe, the King Shark, he was definitely one of them, and he was pulled off really well. As a side note, the CGI in this movie was like phenomenal. It was really good. You can tell it was CGI, but the quality of it was like amazing. But so there was Nanawe as King Shark as part of the Suicide Squad. There's also Ratcatcher 2 with her rats, and her ability is to control rats in any area, so she can command and do whatever she wants. But she has one specific rat called Sebastian, and that one kind of hangs around her all the time as almost like a pet, and of course fully CGI rat. And the thing, in my opinion, I thought it was kind of cute because the thing was like they definitely did it on purpose for sure. Like they always made it look pretty cute. It's trying to be friendly. And Idris Elba's character Bloodsport just has a thing, or I guess an anti-thing for rats, where he's just like...
He has a thing for rats.
Yeah. Yeah, he got freaky off camera with a rat. No, he was just scared of rats in general, but then they like show him looking scared, and they show Sebastian the rat just looking super friendly, and it's like waving at him, just super cute. And then like as the audience, even myself, I was like, oh, that's a cute rat. I like to pet that rat. And then Nanawe the shark, he has some character building moments where he doesn't really speak English too well, so he has a trouble making friends and, you know, being part of society, even in the prison he was at. So there's some parts that he has that develop his character, and it shows like, yeah, he just wants to be part of something and have friends and be normal, but people don't accept him because he's a shark that eats people, which is a bit scary for people.
There was also like the polka dot guy. Was his name the Polka Dot Man?
I think Polka Dot Man, yeah.
Yeah, he was actually really interesting too, because he seemed like he was almost like an awkward character. Like he almost like didn't want to be there, but he had this power. I guess he was like experimented on as a kid, and his mom, I guess, put him through all these experiments and treatments and stuff like that. And then I guess he had developed these polka dots, and somehow he has to release them, or it'll kill him, I guess. That was weird. And he had like these mental problems where he would imagine that like everyone was his mom for some reason. And there's some pretty funny moments in the movie. It's weird. Like I never laugh at DC movies, you know what I mean? Like I feel like they're just trying to be too serious. But this movie did a good job at like actually making people laugh, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think James Gunn, he's been on the Marvel side, right? So he's seen that side, and Marvel has they perfected their formula, in my opinion, for Marvel movies, where they have, you know, the plot going on, but there's so much comedy and there's so much, I want to say banter between the characters that like doesn't really build the story, but it kind of shows you the character's personality. So I guess it just built the character, but not the stories. Where I think they brought a lot of that experience over to this movie, where now, in the last maybe 10 years, DC is trying to be that really serious, dark, brooding brand of like, okay, we're gonna make superhero movies, but at least prior, like for some reason, make them PG-13, but be really dark. It definitely has the Zack Snyder influence. Like, did you notice there was like scene or chapters? I would say like they had intros to the chapters. It'd be like a chapter. I forgot specifically what the chapters were, but they have it really done really like artistically, like in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the new one where it was 4 hours long, the extended edition, I guess, director's cut. They would have it broken down into chapters, which I find a lot of movies are doing now. They're breaking it into chapters, so it'd be like part 1, and then it goes for 20-30 minutes. Part 2. This one it had like, it would say like Operation whatever, and then it's like really artistically done on the set as part of the set piece, and then it pans down to the characters. So that feels like Zack Snyder's style to me.
Yeah.
Or style. Yeah.
But I'm also just really happy that Zack Snyder did not write this movie. Like, I'm happy that James Gunn wrote it. Like, I actually liked Zack Snyder as a director. I'm not a huge fan of his writing, in my opinion. Like, I think even if like James Gunn wrote this movie and Zack Snyder directed it, but like James Gunn directed it and wrote it, so like, it's gonna be good, right? So who do you think should watch this movie too?
I would say anyone who likes comic book movies, even Marvel movies, if you like those kind of movies and want to see it turned up to 100, where there's gore, swears, nudity on camera, like watch this movie. It's comedic, good CGI, good acting, good story, even like likable. Like this movie has everything going for it. If you like superhero movies, if you do, definitely check it out. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just think, like you mentioned, anyone who maybe is even thinking about jumping from the Marvel bandwagon to DC, like I feel like this actually propels DC to being more reputable. You know what I mean? Like people, like I mentioned before, people are thinking, okay, I don't want to watch a DC movie because it's cheesy or it's trying too hard. And Marvel just kind of got that formula because they had the good actors, they had the good script, good directing. And now I think maybe it's DC's time to take over superheroes. Who knows?
Now's the time. Like, if they want to jump in, now's the time. Marvel's not really doing too much right now. I mean, they're releasing all the TV shows, but if they want to make it big, do it up now.
Thanks for watching, guys.
If you want us to check out any other movies, let us know in the comments down below.